It's showtime. What's up, good people? And welcome to the Frank Harris Show, the biggest, the baddest, and the best and most provocative show that you will ever see. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Oh my goodness, news just came down. Kawhi Leonard will not be able to participate in the Olympics. He is stepping aside. Team USA and his Los Angeles Clipper team feel like it's best for the organization, obviously, who pays his money, his salary, and for Kawhi to not play. By the way, when they added Kawhi to the team, what did they think was going to happen? Kawhi's always hurt. But let's start there, okay? I didn't understand that addition. We add Kawhi Leonard to the team. Why? When is Kawhi ever healthy enough to finish anything, number one? And number two, did you think he was going to be able to play for Team USA, compete at that level, and then be healthy enough to play a full season for the Clippers, who are paying him, maximum money, and he's their franchise player? Come on, Grant Hill. Come on, Team USA. Come on, Nike basketball. Come on, the NBA. That was one of the dumbest choices and decisions that I could have thought. And then you compound that dumb choice with his replacement being Derrick White? Huh? With all the great NBA players that exist, guys who have openly lobbied to go, who wanted to be a part of this team, guys like Kyrie Irving, all right? But more importantly, there's a guy on his team, Jaylen Brown, who's lobbied to go to the Olympics and wanted to be on the team. And by the way, you have three guys now on the Boston Celtics, right, on that team. Tatum, deservedly so. He deserves to be there. Jrue Holiday, borderline. The guy's a very good defensive player. I don't think he's ever even made an all-star team, okay? Never even made an all-star team. But we love him. Good story, good family, borderline guy, all right? So you put Derrick White, who is below borderline. He's not even a borderline guy to get there, okay? And you have Jaylen Brown, another player on his team, okay, who is, well, he was the highest paid player in the NBA, but he's the MVP of the NBA, of the playoffs, right? He's been the MVP of the entire playoffs, right? Because I think he was the MVP of the conference championship. He's the MVP of the finals. He's had a stellar year. He led that team to a championship. And all of a sudden, you take Derrick White, right, who's barely a starter on that team, over him for the Olympics. So here we go, all right? And I hate to get into race, but it has to be something about Jaylen Brown that the NBA don't like, okay? The NBA doesn't like, excuse me. First, you already see how they push Tatum, okay? The light-skinned guy, right, who talks like this, okay, who brings his kid to work every day, okay, and it's probably not the stellar example of what we want to see. And then you get a guy like Jaylen Brown, okay? The guy went to Berkeley when everybody else is going to Kentucky or these other schools to play basketball. He chose Berkeley. And while he was dominating at Berkeley on the basketball court, Pac-12 Player of the Year, he was taking graduate level classes. Again, graduate level classes. He's been on it was also, I believe he was the captain of the chess team at Berkeley, or on the chess team. He was the captain of the chess team for his high school. I think he's gotten accepted to do an internship at NASA, okay? And he's also lectured at Harvard. But let's not forget, remember, he came out a couple of times with the Black Hebrew Israelites, and he's been tabbed as a militant guy, right? Very pro-Black, very positively pro-Black about helping economically in the Black communities, talks about bridging the gap and the disparity between what Blacks make as opposed to whites in Boston and in America in general, wanting to uplift the economics for Blacks in America. And so it's interesting that this guy keeps getting snubbed and he keeps not getting opportunities, okay? And to me, this is like blatant that the NBA clearly doesn't want this very intellectual, he's extremely intellectual, again, lecturing at Harvard, NASA internship, okay? Genius young man, great basketball player too. They clearly don't want to push that agenda. How is he not a guy whose agenda we pushing? Incredibly smart, intellectual, great perspective, great views about uplifting this community, but the NBA Okay, and the powers that be do not want to promote that. They don't want to promote this guy with an uplifting message for his community. And it's a shame. So now this is blatant when you take probably the fifth best player on his team, okay, and elevate him to Olympic status over Brown, who's blatantly said he wants to be a part of the team. NBA, this is sad. All right. Grant Hill, you should be ashamed of yourself. Team USA basketball, you should be ashamed of yourself. And if Nike's the biggest sponsor and whoever else it may be, you should be ashamed of yourself as well. It's amazing how we still want to continue to proliferate, all right, messages of young black men, or excuse me, not proliferate messages of young black men who are trying to uplift and talk positively about his community. And not just that, the guy's brilliant. His representation of the NBA and the concept that the NBA is full of dumb jocks who just play basketball, he dispels that immediately. And I believe another issue is I believe he was with the Black Hebrew Israelites a couple of times too, which is another controversial group. And I think he was with a group that spoke out in favor of Kyrie Irving, I believe it was. And so he had to come out and apologize for that. So I really believe there's an agenda here as it relates to this guy. And it's unfortunate that he continues to get overlooked and he's not given his just due. This Derrick White thing is a joke. It's an absolute joke. And like I said, you guys ought to be ashamed of yourselves. People, let me know how you think. What are your thoughts? I think, again, I hate to keep having these posts that relate to racism, but I think this is absolutely squarely a situation where this young black guy is not the guy that the NBA wants people to see because he's uplifting, he's smart. You understand what I'm saying? And that's not the message that the NBA wants our young players to have, in my opinion. Well, let me not say they don't want our young players to have, but he's a guy that would clearly, potentially rock the boat. I think that's a better way to describe it. Okay, because the NBA promotes LeBron. LeBron's is a guy who's relatively uplifting, right? He has a pretty positive message. He's a smart guy, right? But LeBron James ain't rocking the boat. Jaylen Brown is. All right. Olympic Committee, NBA, you should be ashamed of yourself. Listen, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Tell me how you guys feel. Comment. Let me know. Do you think Derrick White deserves to be on the team? And do you think Jaylen Brown should continue to be omitted from these opportunities? Let me know.